Dobrý deň, vážené dámy, vážení páni, Your Excellency, dear Mr. Ondruš, dear speakers. Let me just briefly give some instructions in Slovak and then we will continue in English. Milí účastníci, vítame vás na dnešnom webinári. Moje meno je Silvia Radovánovič a pracujem ako konzultant na odbore zahraničného obchodu agentúry SARIO. Povieme si na začiatok pár inštrukcií v slovenčine a potom už budeme pokračovať v angličtine. Tento webinár bude nahrávaný a po skončení webinára vám začneme aj dnešné prezentácie. Najprv teda začneme s úvodnými príhovormi a budeme pokračovať s prezentáciami Zastupiteľského úradu Slovenskej republiky v Rige, ako aj Lotyšskej investičnej rozvojovej agentúry. Dnešní panelisti vám poskytnú prehľad o lotyšskej ekonomiky a podnikateľského prostredia, aktuálny stav hospodárskej spolupráce medzi Lotyšskom a Slovenskom, ale ako aj to asi čo najviac vás bude zaujímať, a to sú tie kľúčové sektory pre spoluprácu a investičné príležitosti. Prezentácie nebudú dlhé a väčšiu časť by mali tvoriť práve vaše otázky. A tu by som vás teda chcela vyzvať, aby ste sa aktívne zapájali a pýtali sa na to, čo vás bude zaujímať. Rada by som vás poprosila, aby ste okrem chatu využili možnosť, respektíve Q&A, a využili možnosť aj priamo online sa opýtať našich panelistov prostredníctvom funkcie Raise Hand a následne vám teda umožníme opýtať sa zapnutím vášho mikrofónu. So, let us now proceed in English and officially start today's webinar. So I would like now to invite Mr. Ondruš, Director of Foreign Trade Department at SARIO Agency, to say a few opening words. Mr. Ondruš, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. I hope you can hear me well. Dear Excellency, dear Mrs. Ulme and Mr. Nagy, thank you very much for your participation, for your speeches and valuable information of your presentations. If you don't mind, I will just briefly address the Slovak businesses participants in Slovak. Vážení podnikatelia, som veľmi rád, že ste sa prihlásili na dnešný webinár. Pevne verím, že vám prinesie veľa cenných informácií. Ja sa teším, že sa nám podarilo zorganizovať webinár tentokrát na Lotyšsko. Nedávno, zhruba mesiac dozadu, sme organizovali aj webinár na Estonsko, čiže ide už o druhý webinár v poradí zameraný práve na pobaltské krajiny. V rámci Európy vidíme aj pre slovenských exportérov potenciál diverzifikácie exportných možností slovenských spoločností práve aj do týchto krajín. Takže ja naozaj verím, že dnešné informácie budú pre vás cenné, že vám dajú nejaký prehľad, možno vás nasmerujú, ponavigujú, ako ďalej, akým smerom sa ubrať. Nejdem to viacej zdržiavať, teším sa, že vás tu dnes máme. Prajem vám naozaj veľa cenných informácií. Ďakujem pekne.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ondruš, for your opening remarks. And now it's my honor to give the floor to Her Excellency, Ms. Ingrīdou Levrence, Ambassador of Latvia, for her opening addresses. Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody organizing this first seminar, which I hope will be a good tradition and will develop in different new forms of cooperation between our countries. But first of all, allow me to welcome everybody joining us today, and it's really my pleasure to welcome you to this webinar. Today, it is about opportunities with Latvia, and it is about finding partners and growing beyond our home markets. Cooperation between EU countries nowadays is more important than ever. We live in a time of global uncertainty, and at the same time, the European Union is under pressure when it comes to its economic performance and competitiveness. And that is why stronger cooperation is not just useful, it's necessary. There is still unexplored potential between Latvia and Slovakia. Latvia offers dynamic and innovative environment, what means clear opportunities for Slovak companies, especially in logistics, automotive, defense technologies, ICT, renewable energy, and biotechnology. Let me briefly highlight some of those areas. Firstly, security and defense. The importance of this speaks for itself and creates real opportunities in military technologies and dual-use solutions. Secondly, digital transformation and innovation. EU supports this cooperation, and Latvia is a leader in digital public services. More than 98 are available online. And finally, I would like to emphasize cultural and economic cooperation. They create long-term connections, so needed to build trust, and trust is needed for strong partnerships. Ladies and gentlemen, today is about our common ideas and it's about our common ambition. Let's use this opportunity to connect. As a Slovak proverb goes, who find a friend has found a treasure. I wish you an inspiring and productive seminar. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your inspiring words. We truly appreciate your remarks and support. So let us now move to the main part of our webinar. Our first speaker today is Mr. Slavomír Nagy, economic diplomat at the Embassy of Slovak Republic in Riga, and he will present the services of economic diplomacy and support available for Slovak companies entering the Latvian market. So, Mr. Nagy, the floor is yours, and you can now share your presentation with us.
Your Excellency, Mr. Director, dear colleagues, dámy a páni, I will now continue in Slovak. My apology, because the presentation is mainly for Slovak businesses, so Excellency, my apology, but it will be more practical. So let me share the presentation with you. Dámy a páni, v podstate ekonomická diplomácia je v súčasnosti jednou z dôležitých súčasťou zahraničnej politiky Slovenskej republiky. Má rôzne zamerania, je to podpora teda investícií na Slovensku, je to zapojenie podnikateľov do rozvoje spolupráce, to sa samozrejme bavíme aj v iných krajinách, ako je Pobaltie. Potom je to spolupráca v oblasti vedy, výskumu a inovácií. Tam sú rôzne projekty, ktoré napríklad prebiehajú medzi Lotyšskom a Slovenskom, napríklad jazykové modely, či Slovenská akadémia vied spolupracuje s Lotyšskou spoločnosťou TILDE, čiže ten kontakt sme napríklad sprostredkovali my, čo pokladáme za značný úspech. Potom je to presadzovanie samozrejme ekonomických záujmov Slovenskej republiky. Tá ekonomická diplomácia funguje rôzne, hej, od toho, že slovenskú firmu, ako je to na slide uvedieme na nejakých miestnych obchodných B2B webových platformách. Potom my ako ekonomickí diplomati každoročne vypracovávame taký rozsiahly dokument Ekonomická informácia o teritoriu. V súčasnosti prebieha ako keby update tohto dokumentu, ale nie len čo sa týka jeho obsahu, ale hlavne čo sa týka jeho formy. Takže ešte ani my sami ekonomickí diplomati presne do detailu nepoznáme, aký bude ten výsledný tvár, ale niekedy v polovici roka predpokladám, že to bude publikované na webových stránkach zastupiteľských úradov, kde dúfame, že nájdete vy všetky také potrebné informácie o teritóriu, ako aj kontakty na miestne organizácie, čo sa týka verejného obstarávania a podobne. Potom je tu samozrejme monitorovanie trhu z pohľadu výstav. Tam rovnako na internetovej stránke zastupiteľských úradov vždy viete nájsť, ktoré veľtrhy my odporúčame v tom danom roku. To znamená, že my ich zhruba poznáme. Samozrejme, to Pobaltie je špecifické v tom, teda my ako ZU Riga pokrývame Lotyšsku a Litvu a ono je dosť špecifické v tom, že je to dosť centralizované. Že ten hlavný motor tej ekonomiky je to hlavné mesto. Čiže väčšina podujatí v Lotyšsku sa deje v Rige, 95%. Potom sú to podnikateľské misie, ktoré sa organizujú v spolupráci napríklad so SARIO. Tam bola úspešná tiež podnikateľská misia, k tomu sa ešte dostanem. Môžeme preveriť spoľahlivosť obchodného partnera, to znamená, že z otvorených zdrojov prípadne si vieme vyhľadať nejaké predchádzajúce spolupráce, osloviť nejakých ľudí priamo v teritóriu, že či majú s tou firmou nejakú skúsenosť, čiže keď príde nejaký dopyt zo slovenskej firmy, aj toto robíme. A potom keď sú nejaké obchodné spory, tak odporúčame, máme tu nejakú sieť už od skúšaných právnikov, to znamená, že naposledy jeden slovenský liehovár mal tu spor s jednou lotyšskou firmou, kvôli nejakým pohľadávkam, tiež sme odporúčali a rôzne iné. To znamená, že nie je to také, my samozrejme nemôžeme vstupovať ako do toho sporu ako tretia strana, toto sa nedá. K tým odporúčaným veterinárnym výstavom v roku 26, dal som tam aj to, že 27, lebo začiatkom roka vždy v Lotyšsku v Rige je Baltúr, to je taký najväčší veľtrh cestovného ruchu. Tam Slovakia Travel už posledných, predpokladám, asi 5-6 rokov vždy príde so slovenským stánkom. My samozrejme sa podielame, logisticky pomáhame, čo sa týka prepravy materiálov, aj samotnej dopravy potom buď osôb alebo tých tovarov na Baltúr. Do nášho stánku veľakrát zavítali aj ministri, bol tam pán prezident. Je to naozaj veľké podujatie. Tam, ak by sa firmy chceli zúčastniť, ak by ste teda mali záujem, tam treba sa ale kontaktovať nie na nás, prípadne na nás a my to posunieme Slovakia Travel. Potom v tomto roku, ale ten som neuviedol do tohto slajdu, teraz prvý rok je veľtrh obranného priemyslu Dimex. On sa organizuje v Litve, ale organizátormi sú všetky tri komory obranného priemyslu, čiže Litva, Lotyšsko, Estónsko. Ono je to taký pilotný ročník. Máme zo Slovenska 4 spoločnosti, ktoré sa tam zúčastnia, ale ona už registrácia je uzavretá, čiže som to tam nedával. Uvidíme, ako dopadne tento ročník, ak to bude úspešné, čo predpokladám, že bude. Sú tam naozaj niektoré veľké mená od českých zbrojoviek, aj Rheinmetall a podobne. To znamená, že Slovenská republika tam bude mať vlastný stánok, tak ako Kanada napríklad, čiže sme celkom radi, že sa nám to podarilo zorganizovať. Ale hovorím, to uvidíme v budúcom roku, že či tento pilotný ročník sa osvedčí a potom ho opäť zverejníme a budeme sa snažiť získať určite viac spoločností zo Slovenska. Čo je potom v lete, je toho menej a na jeseň býva každoročne najväčší veľtrh potravinárskeho priemyslu v Pobaltí. Zoznamu firiem, ktoré mi boli poskytnuté, viem, že mnohí z vás sú z potravinárskej oblasti. Riga Food. Riga Food je v podstate veľtrh, ktorý už máme teraz v pláne 3. ročník organizovať Slovenský národný stánok na ňom. Ten organizujeme ako veľvyslanectvo, to znamená, že z našej strany my zabezpečíme výstavnú plochu, zabezpečíme stavbu stánku, jeho grafické nejaké prevedenie. Vystavovatelia v podstate len prídu, zaplatia si samozrejme cestu, ubytovanie a prinesú produkty, čiže zdieľajú náklady na kargo, ktoré tam vystavujú. Takto vyzerá ten stánok. Čiže tu vidíte kolegov Rebelama, Opre Brothers, Mnoho tých spoločností sme spoznali napríklad počas exportného fóra, ktoré organizuje Ministerstvo zahraničných vecí. Prípadne sa nám ozvali na základe výzvy, ktorú distribuuje, s ktorou nám vždy pomáha SARIO. Ďalším spôsobom, ako prezentovať slovenské firmy v Lotyšsku, aj teda v Litve, je podnikateľská misia. Posledná podnikateľská misia bola v roku 2024. Išlo naozaj, že takmer po 20 rokoch, po 19 rokoch, presne naposledy boli podnikateľa s pánom prezidentom Gašparovičom počas jeho oficiálnej návštevy ešte. Čiže tuto sa podarilo zorganizovať, to je fotografia vlastne z toho podujatia. Potom na veľvyslanectve organizujeme individuálne prezentácie firiem. To je celkom zaujímavý koncept, lebo máme pekné priestory. Neskromne môžem povedať, že jedný z najkrajších zastupiteľských úradov. Sídlime v historickom centre Rigi, v cecesnej budove. Ten nábytok, čo vidíte na tej fotografii, to je slovenská firma Javorina, čiže zároveň je to akýsi showroom toho, čo vieme. Toto bolo napríklad prezentácia jedného vinárstva zo Záhoria. Mali sme prezentáciu aj drevárskej firmy, mali sme prezentáciu firmy, ktorá robila sirupy, energetické nápoje, iné vinárstvo a podobne. Čiže toto je celkom zaujímavý koncept v tom, že máme vlastné priestory, oslovíme miestnych podnikateľov, čiže tá pozvánka ide priamo cez Zastupiteľský úrad. Vy čo spravíte, necháte si poslať kargom nejakou dopravnou spoločnosťou vaše produkty, 1-2 osoby prídu a odprezentujú svoje produkty. Toto sa dá samozrejme nakombinovať potom aj s návštevou tých firiem priamo v teritóriu. Čiže ja vám ďakujem za pozornosť. Ja by som teda ukončil toto zdieľanie a pokračoval by som bez prezentácie. Dobre, teraz by ste ma mali vidieť. S tým, že k tomu Lotyšsku, teda za mňou vidíte, že nemám na stene len mapu Lotyšska, ale mám mapu celého Pobaltia. Lebo to Lotyšsko, aj tú Litvu, treba vnímať z toho regionálneho hľadiska. Tieto krajiny nie sú veľké, pokiaľ ide o populáciu, pokiaľ ide o rozlohu, tak napríklad samotné Lotyšsko je väčšie ako Slovensko, ale kdežtu žije tu len 1,8 milióna obyvateľov. To znamená, že to celé Pobaltie dokopy má okolo 6 a dačo miliónov obyvateľov. Znamená, že to sa už rovná tomu slovenskému trhu. Zároveň treba k týmto krajinám pristupovať aj z akéhosi hľadiska vstupnej brány. To znamená, že máte Litvu na juhu, ktorá susedí s Poľskom, historicky kedysi to bola Poľsko-Litovská únia, to znamená, že máte tam obrovskú litovskú menšinu, čiže veľa poľských firiem pôsobí na litovskom trhu. To znamená, že ak sa nám podarí vám dostať na ten litovský trh, môže to byť pre vás vstupná brána, teda na trh poľský, čo je už veľký trh, všetci tam chcú byť. Potom je tu Lotyšsko, ktoré má historické väzby so Švédskom a zároveň Lotyšsko je akýsi hub, to centrum. Čiže mnoho tých firiem má ten headquarters v Rige a potom odtiaľ vlastne distribujú do všetkých toh krajinách. Ono je to dosť podobné ako na Slovensku, že keď si vezmete nejaký produkt, tak na ňom máte tie jazyky V4, hej. A tu, keď vezmete nejaký produkt, tak tam máte lotyšský, litovský a estonský jazyk na všetkom. Takmer to, ani si nepamätám, že som videl nejaký produkt, kde by to takto nebolo. To znamená, že keď sa už dostanete na ten jeden trh, s najväčšou pravdepodobnosťou budete všade, lebo tie distribučné siete fungujú spoločne. Pokiaľ ide potom o Estónsko, tam sa zase viete dostať na fínsky trh, keďže oni sú viacej historicky prepojení. Čiže aj samotné Lotyšsko prezentuje teda napríklad LIAA, čo je Lotyšská investičná agentúra, tak aj oni prezentujú sami seba ako región. Oni porozumeli, že prezentovať sa ako maličká krajina, teda áno, ale keď idete už mimo Európu napríklad, alebo niekde, kde to nie je až také známe, to, že si na Slovensku ľudia niekedy pomýlia Lotyšsko s Litvou a Litvu s Lotyšskom, tak takisto si tu v Pobaltí mýlia Slovensko so Slovínskom. To je jednoducho fakt. Niekedy je dobré ako dať ten regionálny rozmer tomu. Čo sa týka presadenia sa na tom lotyšskom trhu, to určite povie kolegyňa z Viedne, ekonomická diplomatka pani Inga Ulmané, s tým, že hlavné je teda nájsť toho dobrého distribútora, kdežto je tu trochu problém pri niektorých produktoch, napríklad hlavne pri tých potravinárskych, to Lotyšsko je aj blízko, aj ďaleko. Čiže mám napríklad môžem zdieľať skúsenosť jedného slovenského pivovaru z Banskej Bystrice, asi viete, o kom hovorím, ktorí hovorili, že sa im raz stalo, že vyviezli veľkú zásielku do Fínska, niekde sa pokazilo, to všetko sa to pokazilo. Tá firma bola nešťastná, spolupráca sa naštrbila jednoducho. Ale to nemení nič na tom, že tieto trhy sú veľmi dobré na ten začiatok. Keď niekto nemá až také výrobné kapacity, tak samozrejme ísť na indický, čínsky trh, samozrejme to nehovorím o tom, že rôzne obmedzenia, čo sa týka umiestnenia produktov na týchto trhoch, ale jednoducho tie objednávky na začiatok pre akúkoľvek firmu, ktorá sa iba rozbieha, to je veľmi ťažké. Kdežto tento trh je ideálny pre také malé, stredné podniky začať a potom si vyskúšať vlastne tú postupnú expanziu, tak ako som hovoril. Čo sa týka pomoci Zastupiteľského úradu, je to väčšinou na individuálnej báze. To znamená, že tá firma nás osloví, dá nám nejakú otázku, my si môžeme dať nejaký videohovor, ale postupne. Čím špecifickejšia otázka, čím má človek jasnejšiu predstavu o tom, čo chce, koľko toho chce umiestniť, aká je nejaká jeho stratégia, vízia a podobne, tak vtedy je tá pomoc samozrejme lepšia. Keď je to taká veľmi všeobecná otázka, ako uspieť podobne, tak áno, akože odpovieme, ale naozaj, potom je ťažko, ako sa hovorí, čítať myšlienky, že kde chce ten človek uspieť, aká je jeho ambícia a podobne. Čiže ja vždy preferujem, keď je ten kontakt individuálny, potom si to vieme naozaj napasovať, prípadne vieme odporučiť nejakú firmu, prípadne vieme odporučiť slovenskú firmu, ktorá už je na trhu. A ja to pokladám také normálne, že potom ich človek kontaktuje, napríklad opýta sa ich teda, akého máte vy distribútora, ak ste v nejakom potravinovom reťazci alebo podobne. Myslím, že tie spoločnosti sú pripravené zdieľať tieto informácie. Ďakujem veľmi pekne. Pokiaľ ide o otázky a odpovede, tie by sme si dali až po tej prezentácii, ktorú bude mať kolegyňa, ktorá vám vlastne opíše celé to Lotyšsko, makro, mikroekonomické ukazovatele a podobne. To znamená, že mnoho tých vecí bude zrejme zodpovedaných počas tej prezentácie a potom na konci by sme to spoločne nejak zodpovedali. Ďakujem veľmi pekne za pozornosť.
Ďakujeme veľmi pekne, pán Naď, za vašu prezentáciu. Myslím si, že ste obsiahli všetky také kľúčové témy aj z pohľadu Zastupiteľského úradu. So I will switch now to English. So our next speaker is Inga Ulmané from the Investment and Development Agency of Latvia, and she will introduce a little bit more about possible cooperation with Latvian companies and also about the market itself. So Inga, feel free to share your presentation with us, and the floor is yours.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Her Excellency and dear colleagues. I'm really honored and really happy to have this opportunity today, and really thank you to SARIO management and dear colleagues for initiating this and for being amazing at organizing everything and technicalities. And I'm really happy to cooperate, and I think this is a great start of hopefully of more intense and active cooperation. And I'm also really happy to have a colleague of your own, Mr. Nagy, who is also extremely friendly, responsive, and I have seen the activities that he has been doing in Latvia, and I was really impressed also about the way how he has seen Latvia. So I truly believe that there's a potential. We just haven't had yet a platform, and then I'm really happy to see that there has been an interest by the participants that are here today, and hopefully we will also, let's say, realize something of these interests in some tangible results. So I myself, I am based in Vienna, as we are covering Slovakia from the embassy here in Austria. But as it is so close, quite often I'm traveling to Bratislava, so I am absolutely available also for the companies in Slovakia when there's an interest, or for the meetings or anything also online. And yeah, I'm really happy today to present Latvia, as this is the first presentation in this kind of format, that it will be very general, basically kind of explaining more what is happening in Latvia, what are maybe our focus points, also some very general data, as this is very beginning, but I would be really happy to receive if you have any questions, either during the either during the webinar or afterwards through the email, or we can always organize MS Teams meeting or face-to-face meeting. So yeah, just to give a short glimpse about Latvia, I think we are both countries are, let's say, geographically and strategically located in very significant locations. I would say Latvia is like a gateway to the Nordics. We actually like to call ourselves the new Nordics. Of course, there are Scandinavian countries, but we have extremely well-established cooperation with all the countries that are based on the coastline of the Baltic Sea. And of course, that helps not only from the logistics point of view, but also the cultures are very similar. And if I should characterize the Latvian typical culture, it's really a great mix between the West and East, because I think it's, I will later also show a little bit of history, but I think both Latvia and Slovakia have gone through different turbulent times, and both our nations are very resilient towards different winds, as we say. But at the same time, we are also, both countries and nations, I think, very much are innovative and survivor countries. That also shown that the same as Slovakia, we are member of Eurozone and of course European Union, NATO, and we are really happy to see that we are also among the group of only 20 nations that are members of all major international organizations, and in these turbulent times that also help us to be safe, because sometimes, most probably also in Slovakia, this question comes up, but we really feel safe, and this is also seen in the data that of course we have increased our defense budget as the countries in whole Europe. And if we are talking, let's say, about the industries that I see the most interesting for cooperation between our countries, I believe that the defense industry and military and miltech could be one of the priorities that also is exposed by the current bilateral trade between our both countries. Yes, from the historical point of view, these are some, let's say, main milestones that has shaped our country. And most probably the question, as the rest is quite, I think our countries have had similar pathways, as we say, up and up. Then maybe the question might be about the last milestone in 2020. 2025, when we also did put a bigger, let's say, flag on the cultural map, is that Latvia won the first Oscar, and it has been an animation movie called Flow, about a cat. And why I'm mentioning this is we do not have a huge budgets in the culture, and I believe it's also similar in smaller countries as Slovakia. But our people are extremely innovative, and this is kind of historical moment, because this movie has been one of the lowest budget movies in the Oscar history, and basically it was almost more or less one guy working with artificial intelligence, different tools, and just made an animation movie. And it was a proof that countries as ours can actually be seen on the global stage, and not by unique talent, but because of hard work and creative thinking. And I think this is something that also has led Latvia between, let's say, the bigger and Western countries, that our GDP has been growing 2 times faster than the average European Union GDP, that we are really proud of, just because, of course, the lean management and creative ways of getting out of different turbulent times. And also the big help is that the country is not that huge, and we have a saying in Latvia that our president is one handshake away. What that means, if you are not directly, let's say, friends with the president, you know one person who is. So that kind of characterizes when you want to work with Latvia, let's say the connections or the distance to the person that you have to talk to, or who can be your client, partner, is really one handshake away. The other thing also, how we have managed the current business environment, is we have been really adjusted our tax system. We understood that if such a small country as ours want to attract big companies and producers, we have to assess our tax system. And here you can see that we have done our homework, and for international players, it is very attractive. As most attractive is the corporate income tax of reinvested profit is 0. That has made us also number 2 in international tax competitiveness index among OECD countries. And as already Her Excellency Ambassador mentioned, our environment to do the business is very digital. So basically, more or less, I have been talking with the Latvian companies. They have one face-to-face meeting when the bank account is opened and so on. And afterwards, everything is done digitally on daily basis, which might be also interesting for the Slovakian companies. You don't always have to be on the spot, but a lot of things can be done digitally. And the other thing, of course, is education and our people, that we say it is our biggest, let's say, resource. We are not a huge, let's say, natural resources or mineral country. Even though the interesting thing I will show is that minerals and different ingredients are among the top products that we are trading between Latvia and Slovakia. But even though we still, let's say, emphasize and appreciate our people most, so we are really investing a lot in the skills of our people, and a lot of, let's say, students nowadays are in the STEM industries, and that is also, let's say, supported by the infrastructure of the country. So basically, you can access the network all around the country. There are maybe some, I don't know, some extremely minor spots where it is disturbed, but otherwise everything is very much digital. Also, we are the first ones when it comes to mobile data. So, for example, for the Slovakian companies, it's actually a huge advantage. For example, if your solution or product is digitally based or needs to be used on the phone or laptop or any other way on the ICT device. You know already the market is basically flexible and adjusted to that, so that wouldn't be a problem for your products and solutions. The other thing what is also very much important to mention is that our society is strongly working on gender balances. So what does that mean is that we have huge movements and very active, also non-governmental movement to integrate more and more female brain, let's say, so in the ICT and tech. We have huge different programs for that, mostly non-profit and cost-free. We really try to, because this is how we say it's unused resource that is maybe too much full with stigma, and we are trying to break it. And that has also resulted that we have the highest number of females in the science per capita, and also a highest number in the European Union, and the same about the females in the highest management. So that is also maybe important to take into account, that it's not a rare thing maybe to see that CTO or a startup founder in the ICT or AI or solution-based company is a female. Then, just to characterize the sectors that I would say would be the most potential to approach from Slovakia to Latvia are these 5 that are still, of course, very much broad. I heard Mr. Nagy also mentioning the food sector that also Slovakian companies have been approaching and during the exhibitions. But what is really proven, I would say, the most responsive industries in Latvian economy would be these 5. I will shortly characterize each of them. So when it comes to renewable energy, and there was also a question from one of the companies, well, we are proud to be number 3 in European Union by renewable energy consumption and production. And of course, I have to be honest, it is thanks to our rivers. So it is very similar to your neighbor country, Austria, where we basically use a lot of hydropower. But at the same time, I think what is also very important, and if you have energy management solutions, it's important for Slovak companies to know that at the moment we are developing a huge project called L-Wind. It will be an offshore wind park, and it is a joint project of Latvia and Estonia, up to 15 gigawatts. Yes, it sounds extremely huge. It will be so, and it's even maybe too much for our own consumption, which is good because it means we will be also able to trade it. But if you have business within the solar and wind battery storage or hydrogen business, this is something that is very important topic that you can absolutely find a business opportunity in Latvia. The other thing that is extremely significant industry are photonics and smart materials. The same as we are not huge industrial producer country, we really focus on high added value products. And at the moment, I must say a lot of these products and solutions are used in the dual use and defense. But when it comes to photonics, Latvia is also huge in optical fiber. So this is something that might be interesting for Slovak companies as well. The third one, which also covers a little bit of food, is bioeconomy. But mostly, I would say the biggest industry within bioeconomy is wood and wood processing, as more than half of the country is covered with forests. Then, of course, timber, and especially the timber houses is a huge industry, and there is a lot of cooperation within the industry, especially with Scandinavian countries. So, for example, IKEA is producing a lot in Latvia. A lot of, let's say, Scandinavian housing and British housing is also supplied by the Latvian companies. Biomedicine, and this is actually something that I have seen is also a very active industry between when it comes to cooperation between Latvian and Slovak companies. Either it's ingredients for pharma production or some innovative solutions, but biomedicine, especially nowadays, is becoming more and more intense industry, not only on the products, but also on different solutions when it comes to data. And this is absolutely something that I see for both our countries being very flexible and lean and innovative. I think we can cooperate in this industry. And the last one, of course, which is nowadays a priority for all the countries, is ICT industry. And for us, the big at the moment is, of course, cybersecurity due to the current geopolitics. And a lot of interesting solutions are coming up. So I believe that there can be also known that in Slovakia, it is a strong sector. We can absolutely develop some joint projects. Here are just some examples of the industries of the Latvian producers. For example, what we are really proud and globally, like we don't have big names that everyone would recognize easily, but for example, maybe no one usually pays attention to their internet router at home, but we have the company that is one among the biggest suppliers of the routers, which is Microtik. Then the company Groglass, they actually started with anti-reflective glass for the museums. For example, in Louvre, Mona Lisa is protected by our glass. And nowadays, of course, they have solutions also for the buildings and construction. Lightspace Technologies is already, they started with more medical solution or medical directed product, but nowadays, of course, it's way more interesting or needed in the defense. And then we have the world's leading optical fiber production lab, Light Guide, which also might be interesting for Slovak companies. And the other thing, which is also very interesting, and I would most probably invite Slovak companies to see Latvia as a gateway to the bigger market as Scandinavia, is our location and talent pool. And this is also the reason why a lot of global companies have chosen Latvia as a point of their business service centers when it comes to the Northern Europe. And these are just few names that maybe are more recognized, but this is how they have seen Latvia strategically. And I believe that we can do something like that also for the Slovak companies. What is also extremely important to know is that, of course, we do have a sea, so we can reach a lot of or huge market by the sea. But we also have our national airline, Air Baltic, and it has basically over 100 direct flights. Unfortunately, not to Bratislava, but we have flights almost twice a day to Vienna, and then I guess it's easy to get by train to Bratislava. But yes, by that connection, also you can easily reach the markets around Latvia. Yes, what I mentioned also regarding the energy. as there was a question. So there is also a lot of potential for the power generation surplus. At the moment, yes, we are really proud of also renewable energy. This is the time also when a lot of wind and solar parks are being built. But as mentioned before, if you are into the energy business, I would really invite you to follow with the Elwind project. You can see the name of the project down there. This is something for sure where we'll be looking for different suppliers and cooperation partners. This is just to show maybe sometimes people have some stereotypes where Latvia is stated when it comes to taxes. So we are really proud to say that it's very competitive and attractive. And this was really interesting actually for me to see what at the moment we are trading between both of our countries. And even though I would say we always say the food is maybe a hard industry to enter, seems the Latvians are fifth of our total exported goods are food and beverages, while Slovakians are exporting way more, let's say, higher added value goods as electronics and equipment. It's almost half of Slovak export to Latvia, which is really impressive. And then the second one is chemical industry products, which is basically where the main client is the pharmacy sector, biomedicine. Then the next one is defense industry. So I would say, and metalworking. So these would be the 5 leading industries. So I believe if you would ask me where is the potential, then you can see that the companies working in these sectors have created from Slovakia already a ground base of cooperation. So most probably these would be the sectors that would be the most responsive in the Latvian market. And if you are thinking about what to bring from Latvia to Slovakia, we are way more scattered. It's a little bit of everything, I guess. So this is something that's interesting to note. So this is among the of course the goods. If it comes to services, I was checking basically two lines are the leading ones. One is logistics and another one is different ICT solutions, which I guess is no surprise. So if you are within one of those, I believe there is a potential. Then I just wanted to shortly touch upon some incentives, or for example, that might be interesting for you if you are looking for some business opportunities. So last year we did develop a very attractive, let's say, ecosystem for fintech. And what do I mean by that is at the moment, Latvia provides the fastest, cheapest and most supportive ecosystem for registering the fintech company in European Union. Already in Latvia, if you are registering the company, you can pay with crypto. We are working now towards that also the taxes can be paid in crypto. And we are trying to be more, let's say, responsive to the new trend. Not really a new trend anymore, but let's say global progress. And it's actually last year we already had the first licenses. It was the neighbor country, Hungary, 2 startups, the first ones that got the license. Of course, the process is still pretty transparent and a lot of documents is needed because the industry, of course, is let's say complicated and needs to be well-based, but the rest is very supportive. Then we have different support programs. Once you also register a company in Latvia, there are different supports from the government available. I guess similar as in Slovakia. But at the moment, the two main, I would say, flag lines are dual use R&D, mostly when it comes to defense and digitalization. The other thing which is also interesting, for example, if your company sees Scandinavian markets as priority markets, then it's always my advice is to register in one of the not free, but special economic zones on the coastline or where the ports are, because then it's just logistically way more efficient. And also a lot of Scandinavian companies have placed their factories there. So for example, if you are producing some components that can be beneficial to the companies there, it's strategically amazing location. And then what we also try to do, if we see a bigger companies coming to Latvia and seeing that as a place for investment, we have also incentive as Green Channel or Fast Track that we really put our efforts to help with everything needed to set up the business in our country. And yes, so here I have let's say, pointed out the main events within the industries that I find the most hot topics or most potential or most intense at the moment in Latvia, where I would say if you come to these events, you will meet not only the main or most of the players within the industry of Latvia, but also Baltics and northern countries. This is, the other good thing, as Latvia is in the middle of the Baltics, and we are the only ones with international airports, that quite often the events are happening in Rige and gather the companies from Lithuania and Estonia. And yes, so the nearest ones are within the fintech. So if you are within the fintech, insurance or banking, it's already in the middle of May. Then Deep Tech Atelier is something more on science-based, but there's also a lot of investors and startups. The pitching ends, by the way, also as Slovak companies do have an opportunity to apply for pitching, where also are money prizes, and the deadline is, I think, this Sunday or next Monday. So basically, you can still manage to apply for that. And yeah, if your company is within the deep tech, you can apply for that. You don't have to be the Latvian company. What is really interesting is also Slovakia is active in defense. We have a huge drone summit happening in the end of May. There will be more than 22 countries, because maybe the companies who are within the drone business have heard about the drone coalition, which was initiated by Latvia. And among these 22 countries are also countries as Australia. I know that Australian companies are coming, Norway, Netherlands. So it will be a very international event if you are within the sector. If you are interested about that, let me know, because it is invitation only, as of course due to the security reasons. So yeah, let me know. Then, which is also really interesting if you are investment, is the Aftercare Forum, a huge one organized by also afterwards event by European Reconstruction Development Bank. Then there is one more defense, let's say, season in the autumn, where you will see also Defense Industry Expo and Dual Use Export Forum. So I think this is something that would be also interesting for the Slovak companies. And as Slovakia is also very much into tech and equipment, automotive, then I believe tech industry in the November would be interesting. And also there it is possible to exhibit for the companies. And it's really a Baltic event. It's not Latvia only. territory, it's more about digitalization and ICT in October. PMNet Forum is if you are into, I would say, biotech and biomedicine. Also quite international speakers from Switzerland, Denmark, and Rige is about business technologies. So yes, these are the main events. Of course, they are different, as also by Mr. Nagy mentioned, the food expo. But yeah, here I have really pointed out the events that are within the, let's say, priority industries where I would see you would have the biggest response when approaching the Latvian market. If you would be looking for really specific companies or clusters, I have here noted two web addresses, pages. The first one is the Chamber of Commerce. It is non-governmental, so also the membership obviously is voluntary, but it is the biggest non-governmental organization for the companies. So there you can really search by the sector and easily find different companies. If you're looking for something else, let me know. And then Latvia is also very active with different clusters. So in the Ministry of Economy webpage, you can find different clusters. And usually, I would say the most active and interesting companies are usually the members and policy lobbies and initiators of different activities in Latvia. So I would prioritize most probably those ones as they are just, let's say, most probably they are doing well and would be a good legit partner. But as mentioned before, my job is also to help companies to understand the market and to tell more. So if you have any specific interest, let me know. Here are my contact details. You can call me, you can write me, and if you are planning a trip to Latvia, let me know. I'm also happy to create an agenda or arrange meetings both with the government institutions and with companies. And I believe based on your interest, we might even organize some joint events with the Slovak Embassy in Latvia. Based on your interests, we will be really happy to, for example, if there's a delegation coming within one of the sectors to the events, I would be happy also to contribute from my side to invite companies and we can really do some networking events or site visits to the Latvian companies. That would be absolutely possible and even welcomed. Yes, so I guess yeah, perfect. I managed in time. If you have any question or anything, I would be happy to reply now or later in the email.
Okay, Inga, thank you very much, truly for insightful presentation. I think we also really clear and comprehensive overview of Latvian market and also business opportunities. So we are now approaching to the end of webinar, which means we have time for Q&A session. Please, once again, feel free to ask any questions through Q&A box or through chat. And also, if you have maybe more even specific question you would like to ask directly, you can use raise hand option, and you can ask our speakers directly. Of course, if you are feeling like not so much free to ask them now, you can always reach out to them by email or arrange one-on-one meeting. As you heard, Ms. Inga is based in Vienna, so it's not so far from Slovakia. Okay, so we have actually our first participants that using raise hand option, so we'll now let him speak.
Dobrý deň, prajem. Ja som chcel napísať otázku a som omylom klikol na unmute, tak sa rovno spýtam. By som sa chcel opýtať, ale vlastne neviem koho, že ako je to s akceptáciou bitcoinových platieb, že ako je tam táto sféra rozvinutá, že či by niekto vedel mi povedať.
Maybe ask that in English?
Yes.
Sure.
So I would like to ask you if you can tell me how developed is the Bitcoin integration regarding the Bitcoin payments, or maybe some kind of legislation behind this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you so much for the question. It is developing. Our FinTech Association is really working towards that. So as mentioned, you can already, when registering the company, you can pay with crypto. You can even buy, or at Air Baltic, you can buy tickets with that. So it is moving fast, and we have few among the big players. Latvia is among the countries that is usually approached. I would say this year, most probably because we are offering these fintech licenses, it will become more and more approachable because internationals are requiring that as well. But I'm happy to, like, if you have more interest to meet some companies and the FinTech Association, I could also put you in contact with them. And I believe if you are within the business, FinTech Forum would be the place to come to in May, and I could arrange some meetings for you with the companies, and you could see maybe how you can cooperate.
Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. We actually have one other question. It was in our chat box in Slovak. I think it was regarding to a presentation from Mr. Nagy. So, Mr. Nagy, we have this question. I will read it in Slovak if it's okay with you. Rada by som sa spýtala, či som dobre zachytila, že jazyk na vstup do všetkých troch krajín je lotyština. Takže štítky na produktoch v Estonsku alebo Litve musia byť v ich jazyku.
Nie celkom. Tuto je produkt. Sú tam 3 jazykové mutácie, hej? Čiže lotyšský, litovský a estonský. Naražal som na to, že skoro na každom produkte je to takto uvedené. To znamená, že tá prepojenosť tých trhov, to som chcel vlastne povedať. Čiže keď máte nejaký slovenský obal, produkt, máte čokoľvek, tak sa to rieši tu v podstate spôsobom, že sa vytlačí iba tá etiketa o tom zložení alebo popise toho produktu a nalepí sa to na to. Čiže si to dáte preložiť prekladateľom v 1., 2., 3. jazyku a takto sa to potom distribuuje. Čiže nie je to zložité. Nemusíte si vytvárať nový packaging na váš produkt.
Super. Myslím, že práve to sme aj zachytili a teda zároveň odpovedali na túto otázku. I will now switch to English. We also, during the registration form, had some questions regarding to energy sector. Inga, in your presentation, you more or less said everything about the energy mix of Latvia, etc. But could you maybe tell our companies where they can find any relevant information about energy tenders?
Perfect. Yeah, I think what would be the best if the person could send me an email and then I could send the contact details of our national operators, because we basically have a national operator, and then under that there would be a database, so it will be easier just to send the address. Yeah.
Okay, so that would be then the perfect way if they have any question regarding some specific information or energy or tenders, etc. So the best point would be to contact you directly. Okay, perfect. So we can maybe go to another question. We had also companies from food and agriculture sector in this webinar attended. So they asked maybe some more specific question, and you and Mr. Nagy already said maybe something about the events they could attend. But we had maybe a couple of more specific questions, for example, about regarding the Slovak producer of nut-based products or winery. One Slovak winery is also interested in entering the Latvian market. So would it be maybe the best for them to present themselves exactly through these events, or what could you recommend to them?
I'm not sure if this question is for me or as I mentioned during my presentation, there's the main food expo is in September in next week, I expect that we will publish registration formula. So I expect around 8-10 companies. First companies will apply, so they have high chance to get there. As I said, everything's for free. Just all you need to do is to buy flight tickets and bring your products with you. If you are a company presenting something small, you can just take it in your suitcase. As a colleague from Vienna, Umane, mentioned, there's a direct flight from Vienna to Riga. So it's the Riga airport is roughly 20 minutes by bus to the city center, where also the expo is located. Riga is not very big. Let's size-wise is like Bratislava, so 600,000 inhabitants. Yeah, so you are all welcome to apply. As I mentioned, next week you can find it at the webpage of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and also our Facebook, and it will be distributed via email from SARIO. So this is the way.
Good advice. I think you have a great support as Mr. Nagy, and he's really doing the good job in there. The other thing, of course, you could connect directly the retail chains. We do not have too many of them. So there are, let's say, two main ones, Maxima and Rimi, and then there are some, let's say, higher price and quality ones, and the smaller that are on the, let's say, more intense in the countryside. There are not that many, but you can absolutely approach them. I must say, none of them are among the big ones. None of them are owned by Latvians. So they all are, let's say, foreign companies. So they are quite tough. As I have spoken with some Latvian producers, they are tough with some terms and conditions and product placing. So it will not be easy. That is true. But if it comes to the Latvian, let's say, Latvian consumption, I mean, I have been living in Austria for 2 years now, and we are not that conservative as Austrians. As just an example, Latvians like to try different foods. So in terms of the taste, it is quite German type of cuisine, but also very similar to Slavic, because obviously of our history. But yes, Latvians are very open to try different things. And as I can see, especially if you invest in marketing, especially with some influencers and few campaigns, I can see especially the generation till age of 35 are very keen to try new things. So in that way, market is open. Just, I guess you have to be patient enough to fight through the retail chain terms and conditions. That's but that's in all of the countries. So it's, but as the people, we like to try new things, and we are not too rigid or stereotypical about that. And yeah, just wanted to mention for the previous question about the energy tenders, I have in the chat, I did post 2 links, and basically there, yeah, if that's only the question, you don't have to write me. You will find the tenders in these 2 links. One is in English, another I think is in Latvian, but you can with the Google Translate get it. I didn't check yet the language, but it's, yeah, all is there.
Oh, that's so perfect. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. So if there may be some other questions, you have still a few minutes to ask, since we are approaching really to end of our webinar.
Yes, just to as the question is to me about the Vienna app. Yes, I will be in Vienna app, and I'm actually also bringing 10 Latvian companies. and I will have 2 stands in Connect Days and in CEE Innovation Forum. An additional event I am organizing it at Embassy. So if you are interested and within this sector, just send me an email and I would be happy to invite you to the reception at the Embassy. And to meet you there and then maybe even connect with the Latvian companies there or tell more would be great. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Inga. We appreciate it. So if there are no any questions, I would like to thank to you, Inga, to you, Slavomír, for really fruitful presentations. I believe our attendees know and learn something new about the Latvian environment, business environment to be specific. And after this, we will share the presentations with you, which includes also the contacts to our speakers. So you can always reach out to them, or if you have any additional questions, you can also reach out to us. So once again, thank you very much to all and have a pleasant day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Ďakujeme veľmi pekne za pozornosť.